Welcome to the Girl Power Alliance podcast, where you're going to meet and hear from some inspiring women with incredible stories who are leading in business and in faith. We are on a mission to impact the world by empowering women to dream bigger through kingdom-minded mentoring and leadership. This is where women grow. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Power Alliance podcast. So excited today to interview this woman who is a very, very dear friend and now newly contributor of Faith and Fitness here inside of the Girl Power Alliance membership. And I can't wait for you to meet her. So let me tell you a little bit about my guest today, Theresa Fackler. She's been in the fitness industry for 12 years as an instructor, a coach, a personal trainer, and now her and her husband own a gym. She has a love for boxing, fitness, and helping people to find what fitness looks like for them at any age and any stage of life. She spent many years in a traditional corporate gym as an instructor and in various programs. She says that she saw so many people who felt like they didn't fit in, people who physically could not always do what most people could, and those who were intimidated or too shy to even try at times. This tore at her heart. She says, God loves us all and wants us all to thrive and have strong, healthy bodies. She longed for a place that everyone would feel included and be given the opportunity to participate no matter what their physical challenges might be. She believes that God put this desire in her heart to have a place for people to come and feel part of something, feel accepted, and feel like more than just a member of a gym. People know that they matter when they step into her gym, which is called EnVision Train Fitness. She has also found that she's been given an awesome platform to share Jesus with her clients and spread his light and love for everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Theresa.
Thank you. I think we can be done. You just said it all.
Well, you know what's wonderful is Theresa and I have known each other for a really long time. And for many years, she said, it's my dream to open this gym. And I have this vision of this place where women can come and they can feel like they're part of a family. And you have done it, my friend.
Yes. Well, God's done it.
That's right.
I literally just follow along. I look back so often and I'm like, how did this even happen? I don't even know how it happened.
I get that. I really do. But I mean, there's just something about having a call, and there's a lot of things I want to ask you, but specifically your background though, before fitness, you worked in corporate America. You were in graphic design, correct?
Yes. 28 years.
So the whole time that you were doing that, did you have this draw towards like movement and fitness, or was this something that came later?
No, this is something that came later through my daughter at about 10 or 11 years old walked into my bedroom one morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. We were getting ready for school and work. Mommy, your belly's fat. And it was a light switch. And literally, I always ask people, what is your light switch moment? Why do you want to be here? Why do you want to get healthy? What has changed now from any other time? And that was, for me, it was so easy. That was my light switch moment. And literally, I changed so many things in that very day. And then it just kept rolling from there. But yeah, I was known as the girl that I didn't like to sweat. I was always done. I was always matchy. I didn't like to get dirty or anything. And it's so far from what I am now.
Isn't that funny? I didn't know you like that. I've only known you as like somebody who's really passionate about fitness.
Yep.
Isn't it awesome to be able to look back at your journey and see how God has used these little moments to really like forge the path for you? Who would have known then at that moment, from your daughter making a comment to just the innocence of a child saying something, she didn't even know she said probably, but really it set you on a course.
It did. And for many years, so when my daughter was born, I had cervical cancer. And it was caught, early enough and taken care of. And I just always believed that there was a purpose, a reason why, I was saved when so many others aren't. And for so many years, I had no clue. And I really believe that God was just setting the pieces up all those years to put us where we are now.
Well, you're a true inspiration. And so let me just tell you guys a little bit more of the backstory here. So Teresa and I have known each other for a number of years. We met through network marketing in the same company on the same team, and she lives on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast, but I just feel like we've done so many accountability groups together, so many calls. I just feel like you are one of my closest friends, just because we know each other on a level that you don't know people that way. And that's how I always felt very connected to you. And so Bobby kept kind of nudging me with Girl Power Alliance. He's like, you really should, you're so passionate about nutrition. You should really make that part of something that you add in the membership. And fitness and nutrition are such big things to me. But I knew that I didn't want to, I was like, I finally submitted. I was like, okay, I'll do the nutrition thing, but I need somebody to do the fitness part. Just like you, fitness is a huge part of my life. Like it's a daily part of my life. And for me, it really is an act of worship. It's more than just going to the gym for an aesthetic thing. It is where God speaks to me, and it is where I feel like I get to do something that's for me, for Him. Because, my whole belief is that we cannot fulfill our purpose if we are unwell. And so, movement is a big part of that. So, um, I was like, I'm going to ask Theresa. I really wanted somebody that could include, their knowledge of the body and training and movement. And I was like, I don't know if Teresa's going to be interested. So those of you, if you're listening, did I call you, or I think I called you. I was like, can I call you? And I said, so I want you to think about something. And I kind of presented, this is what I'm looking for. And she just goes, yes. I said, well, do you want to think about it? She goes, no, yes, yes. And so, I mean, I think it's awesome because you told me, and will you share it with the people that are listening? Like God had already kind of been nudging you maybe in a direction.
Yeah, it's well, we have this busy gym and we have classes and that, but I just feel like there's something more, something next, and I had no idea what it was, and I have no idea where it's going, but I just felt like there's more, there's still more. Every time I feel like, okay, we have it. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to, who we're supposed to impact. It's always like, no, there's more.
Keep going.
And so yes. And the funny thing is, when you called me, I happened to be on a break. I was at Global Leadership, which is a Christian leadership summit that's held every year.
With Craig
And
Groeschel and all of those amazing
yeah,
people.
oh my gosh, it was the first time that I participated in it. And I mean, it was like instantaneous. There was no thought needed, nothing. It was like, yes, this is right. I mean, it was too
I
funny.
was ready to like pitch you. Let me think about it. And I was like, I'm going to say all these things. And you were just like, yes. I was like, oh. Well, so as part within the membership, one of the features that we just began in the month of September, it's called Faith and Fitness. And it is this beautiful woman right here. And she will be showing you things that you can do at home with no equipment to, steward your health. And she's including scripture and verses. And it's so important to me because what I know about the brain is like if you wanted to learn another language that you would learn it, that science has proven that you will learn it like almost twice as fast if you are including movement in the listening of that other language. So like if I can't think of the name of that really really popular program that everybody
Mhm.
does. um
I know
uh
exactly what you're talking about. It's
okay,
right
it's like on
there.
the tip of my tongue.
Yep.
Anyway, it'll probably come to me in the middle, but you buy these programs to learn another language. They say if you do them while you're taking a brisk walk or exercising, you will learn it twice as fast. And so when you are moving your body, when you're following an instructor who's giving you cues as to how to, and you do such a good job at that, Teresa,
Oh,
and
thank
and she's speaking scripture into you, it's like it goes into you at a different level. It's like it breaks down through like the brain fog, all the chaos of life, and it goes right into the heart, right into the soul. And it is an incredibly powerful thing to participate in and to do for yourself and for your body. So I'm beyond grateful that you're doing this.
Oh my goodness. I'm super excited for this. Because yeah, for me, working out is so many things, and worship is one of those, and building strength, and to be able to help others and impact others, and yet, and to be able to do it in a Christian setting with other, Christian women, and help impact in that way is just, beyond belief. I didn't do this kind of thing before. So many things with this pandemic that have been, I almost hate to say it, but there have been so many positives in my life because of it. And one of those things is that I started immediately doing at home workouts for all of my clients and for whoever else wanted to join in for free. And the entire time I figured people are out of work, I was just gonna go ahead and do it. So I learned very quickly, how to do things at home. So I kind of think this is one more stepping stone God was
Yeah.
setting up, using the pandemic for something good, at least in my life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many things.
Oh,
I mean, I don't feel guilty about that because I've heard it over and over. God kind of gave everybody a little bit of an opportunity to kind of maybe things that you wanted to do, it didn't have time, or maybe even forced you into different areas because of, trying to figure out how to pivot during the craziness. Um, a- I want to ask you something. You told me a story years ago, and if you don't want to share it, then we'll just edit this out. But you told me a story years ago about why you got into boxing as a part of your fitness and how it impacted you at that particular time. Would you be open to sharing that?
oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Cause I think it's a huge part of my story. And I don't share it it's like the gym has become something much bigger than just me and my story now at this point. So I really don't share it very often, but I was involved in a mentally abusive relationship, and thank goodness it was just mentally abusive. And but coming out of that, I had a girlfriend, and this is right at the same time that my daughter says, "Mommy, your belly's fat." And but she said, "I know that you're not going to go to therapy or anything like that." She said, "So come to boxing with me, and I think you need to hit something." And I was like, "Okay," and being the very timid shy one at this point, I had no self confidence, no self worth, no self anything, like the lowest of the low. And boxing really changed things. It instilled so much in me and in the community, and just really brought me out of my shell, and almost like did a complete 180, and just really poured all those things into me. Well, I know it was God pouring all those things into me, but that I had always wanted to be, that I did not feel I was, like, confident and extroverted, even though I felt like it when I was around any other extroverts. And just being able to speak in front of people, all those things that were in my heart, just really seemed to blossom. And it was one of those things where I was like, you know what, if this helped me in this way, this is how envision came about, that I was just envisioning what it could do for other people. And I believe that God, put the whole envision thing in there. And yeah, so it was a very dark time in my life, but as the song goes, there was another in the fire with me. And I just truly believe through all that time, God was there just working
Mm.
and molding and changing things the way that they needed changed. And for me to see things in a totally different light, totally different perspective, because of everything that was to come.
I feel like fitness does that for a lot of people because it's a way that you can take control back of yourself, of your life. It's one thing that you have complete control over.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
nobody can, you can step into whatever it is, if it's a cycling class or like cycling on the road, or
Hmm.
if it's running, or if it's taking, anything that has it, it's you. It depends on you. And so you have complete control. And I feel like, I think that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about nutrition and fitness in general is because you have complete control over it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, forcing you to eat bad food. You're making the choice. So, making the choice to say, you know what, I care more about myself and the mission that God has given to me I care more about that than I do about, getting wasted tonight or drinking a bottle of wine and zoning out or, eating this whole flat of brownies. You know what I mean? Because you're like
What's
depressed.
matter?
Yeah, exactly. What I mean, not that and I'm not, this is not there's no condemnation or judgment, but for me, that is it. That's what it's actually about for me. And so I taught at my church classes and I used drumsticks. You've done drumstick
Yeah.
classes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pound.
Mine weren't weighted. They were like actual drumsticks, like to play drums with.
Okay.
And I took a class one time during my training, and there's something so cathartic about I mean, there's cathartic anyway, like even just punching the bag or taking a class or whatever, that's cathartic anyway. But when you specifically use scripture and when you specifically use your languaging, repetitious things that you're saying and the type of music that you're listening to, like breakthroughs happen. So we were
Mhm.
taking this drumstick class. We were actually sitting on the floor and we were uh, speaking about breaking things off of our lives, breaking off, bondage, breaking off lies that the enemy has spoken. And I cannot, like every woman in the class was crying. Some women broke the drumsticks. They were
Oh.
hitting the ground so hard. They're hard to break. Like they're
Mhm.
thick. And there's just something, it's like next level for me. And I know that maybe if you're listening to this, you're like, what are you talking about? If you've experienced anything, when I first started in the fitness, like really getting serious about fitness, there was a lot of turmoil in my life. And I would go into the gym and I didn't know anything about fitness at the time. So I'd get on my elliptical because I thought that was like really me working out. And I would have worship music in my ears and something would shift and I would bawl. And I think everybody thought I was nuts. They thought I was this crazy person. I know that you've experienced that. And I know that you've been the facilitator of helping women experience that, probably men too, in your gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had oh, I remember a class, and it was last summer. I remember a class, there was 6 people, and I think it was 2 men and 4 women, and and they were slamming balls. They were slamming slam balls. And all of a sudden, like 4 of them are in tears. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm
Are you
like,
hurt?
I'm like, wait a minute, no, we're just gonna keep slamming balls. And by the end of it, no, the guys weren't in tears, but it was just like they were releasing something. And it was, yeah, it was one of the best things. I've seen so many people. There's times that I will ask people, can I dig a little bit? And like, especially if I know something about them, just, to pull something else out of them or to break through something. And I believe God, gave me that
Yes.
gift in all of
Discernment.
this as well, to really help people go to that next level. So yeah, we've had quite a bit of that in the gym, and tears and sweat, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm excited to add scripture to it. So ever since you've asked me, you know, there's so many things I'm hearing that I'm like, yes, I got to use that. Yes, I'm going to use that. Yes, that talks to me. That makes them maybe in a different way, even. From like this past Sunday at church, while I was sitting in the middle of a lake on my paddleboard, going to church, something that our pastor said, and it had nothing to do with the heart, as in a healthy heart. It was a healthy heart, and re-examining your heart, in a different healthy way. And but I was like, oh my gosh, that is next. That is the next one that I'm going to do, because having a healthy heart, and for not just for your body, but also for Jesus, and for everybody around you, and really re-examining your heart, and what it's doing right now is it was just something that really hit me. I cannot wait to use it.
Well, I just have to warn you, like now that you've stepped into this space, you're not going to be able to go back.
I know.
I mean, I will tell you, when I started the Sold Out Entrepreneur podcast in 2017, I kind of felt this call, and I listened, but it changed me. When you step into a space where when you've been given permission to speak about those things that you don't really talk about. Like you're working out. Why are you talking about Jesus? Right. But when you step into a space where you do it, it's like you're stepping into this new corridor and you can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to warn you, like you're stepping into it.
Yeah. And I'm totally, I'm not stepping in. I jump. So I want to tell a quick little story. And this was, it had to be since October, because last October our EnVision turns 1 in technically for when we open the studio. It's been for a couple years now, but when we open the studio, October 1st will be a year. And I have this one client who is a Christian as well. I have quite a few clients actually that are Christian, but she's very not timid. Okay, so here's the thing. Her butt was starting to look really good. She's putting a lot of work into it. Okay. And she said something about it, and she's like, but I feel like I shouldn't even be happy about that.
Oh.
And I was like, why not? You're putting work. She's like, well, she's like, because I don't want to seem vain. I'm like, you know what? I said, we as women, as men, as humans are made in God's image. I said, so why shouldn't you be proud of the work that you have put in? Why shouldn't you be proud of the way that you look? Not saying that you're saying, oh, look at my butt or anything like that, but be proud of that. And, and what God gave you to use and how you're taking care of it. And it was instant. It was such a shift in her that it was crazy. And I was like, oh, that was good. I was like, oh, that didn't come from me. I said, I guess I was supposed to tell you that.
Well, you definitely have the gift of discernment. You definitely have the gift of encouragement. You are a courageous woman. And I feel like you're stepping into something even that you haven't stepped into yet. I feel like there is more. There's more than even this. And so it just blesses me to have you part of Girl Power Alliance. I'm blessed knowing that as women turn on that video and they move their bodies and they listen to the words that are coming from you. And as you're doing it even more and more, like that flow from God will just come even stronger. And it's a powerful thing. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you for not just this. Yes, thank you for this, but thank you for who you've been in the world and the lives that you've impacted for so many years. And thank you for stepping into this and saying yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for asking. And you're welcome. I'm excited to see where it goes. And yeah, I felt a little in the first video, whenever I teach to somebody new, whether it's online or whether it is, in person, I'm always a little nervous. So hopefully my first video didn't
You didn't seem nervous. Didn't seem nervous
good.
at all. Didn't
Good.
seem nervous at all. For those of you that are listening, if you're not yet part of the Girl Power Alliance family, within the membership, you have access to every month. You're going to see Faith and Fitness, and you're going to watch this amazing woman share her heart with you and be a vessel for God to help you with those breakthroughs and to strengthen that body so that you can fulfill your purpose. And for those that are listening, Theresa, how can they connect with you? Tell everybody all the ways that they can connect with you.
All the ways. So I am on Facebook at Theresa P. Fackler. I am EnVision Train Fitness on Facebook, EnVision Train Fitness on Instagram, EnVision Train Fitness, soon to be on LinkedIn. Oh my goodness, EnVisionTrainFitness@gmail.com.
Do you have a website?
Yes, EnVisionTrain.com. That one doesn't have fitness on it because that's before we added that on. So EnVisionTrain.com, yeah, all ways to get a hold of me to, see a little bit of whatever about me that you
and
need.
whatever's coming.
Yes,
so if you're listening, don't worry, because we're going to put all that information in the show notes. And if you're watching right below the video, we'll have all of Theresa's information below the video. And I'm just excited to see what God's doing in your life, my friend.
So am I. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for so many things over these last 6 years since I've met you. But just the fact that the shining light that you shone, that really, it was a light that brought me back back to God. I mean, I've always, been a Christian. I've always had that, but to really open back up and to see that it is okay to put that out there, and that it's a good thing, and that it's not fake, it's not any of that, which I saw so much of, in my life, and just to be real and authentic. And that is just what I love to share. So I'm so grateful, eternally grateful for you and how God used you in my life.
Thank you, my friend. You make me cry.
I
love you. I love you to pieces.
Right back at you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. I loved recording that podcast. There's nothing better than being involved with people who inspire you, who you love, and who are doing great things in the world. And that is what Girl Power Alliance is all about. Have you got that yet? Isn't it exciting to be a part of a community of people who just love other people, and they are working to make an impact through the marketplace? That's what we're doing here, among many other things. We would love to have you as part of our community. As you heard today in this podcast, Faith and Fitness is going to be one of our core features that you can access every single month, along with a number of other features that are just yours there for the taking, part of the membership, so that you can continue to grow closer in your relationship with the Lord, closer to reach your goals, closer to other people, just continuing to grow. So, we have a lot of cool things coming up. Stay connected to Girl Power Alliance. Make sure that you are registering for our Bloom Summit, which is happening in November. We have some amazing guest speakers that are just going to, that is just going to be a power-packed 2 days of growth and breakthrough, and just really, really hearing the heart of the Lord through these remarkable women. So register for the Bloom Summit, and Radiant Leadership Academy is coming up. That is a 16-week discipleship program that you can have access to and be part of, and just so many other things. Head over to girlpoweralliance.com, become a part of this family, get plugged in, get engaged, and get growing. Girl Power Alliance. This is where women grow.